Hi there, this is Alan, and I am currently in Riverside, Iowa.
And we were talking about the Shatner thing in Riverside.
Have you guys done this type of stuff before?
Yeah, with friends. Chekhov chocolate and the Romulan raspberry and the Vulcan vanilla, and we did all that.
Hi there, this is Alan, and I am currently in Riverside, Iowa, future birthplace of Star Trek's Captain James T. Kirk. Really, they wrote Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, and asked for his permission 25 years ago. Behind me is the USS Riverside, the icon of TrekFest, the celebration, part county fair, part Star Trek convention that happens here every year on the last Saturday in June. So we're going to take a look through the town and the events that go on today, which is Friday, and all day on Saturday. Come along for the ride. Now, when you drive into town and see the USS Riverside, you know you're probably near the Voyage Home. It's a community center and kind of a Trek museum here. It's right next to the tack shop. And over there in the corner, you can actually see their shuttlecraft. It's kind of a Star Trek The Next Generation modeled shuttlecraft. And inside the shop are museum-type displays of all things dealing with Star Trek, as well as souvenirs for TrekFest, and even a little section on the William Shatner Invasion, Iowa reality show that came to town about 5 years ago, as well as some of the history of Riverside itself.
Scotty, because I was so wrapped up in the movie, and then when he showed up, oh my God, there's Scotty.
Now this is the Voyage Home. It's kind of part History of Riverside Museum, part Star Trek Museum, and part Invasion, Iowa Museum. A lot of displays, tons of pictures, old Star Trek toys, all kinds of stuff in here, and plenty of souvenirs. What is your name?
My name's Paul LaPorte.
Hi, Paul LaPorte. I'm Al. And we're in the Voyage Home in kind of the backside right now. Over there is all Star Trek stuff and gift shops. Here appears to be Invasion, Iowa stuff. What is this Voyage Home Center? What is its purpose?
Well, it's a dual-purpose museum here in Riverside. It's half dedicated to Star Trek as it relates to Riverside, and also the history of Riverside.
I notice over in this back room here, there's a lot of exhibits and pictures and articles about the true history of Riverside, and then over there is more like the future history of Riverside.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
And what is your involvement with Riverside and the community in this facility?
Well, I moved here about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and you know, I'm from Chicago originally. I always wanted to, you know, help out with museums and stuff. You know, I took some classes on it. Truth is, back home, a guy like me, you know, I'd be waiting on the list, you know, 5 years to sweep the floor and say the Chicago Historical Society or something. But here, you know, I come here, you know, in a small town, and, you know, just with my training, you know, small as it is, you know, I just happen to be the most qualified guy in town to run the museums.
Now, was that part of what drew you to this area?
You mean the Star Trek?
Yeah.
Part? You know, I mean, it wasn't a negative factor. You know, my wife would have something different to say about that. But you know, yeah, I thought it was pretty neat. You know, I mean, every small town I think's got something unique about it. You know,
well, most of them don't have something like.
This happens to be ours.
Yeah. Well, that's very cool. Yeah. All right, and do you know how old Riverside itself is?
Riverside was founded in 1872.
Look at that.
Yep.
Look at that. Okay, so what's the significance of 1818 on the USS Riverside?
Well, that's just its call number. You know, on the USS Riverside, you know, NCC 1818. It's just a number that wasn't taken, but I believe the significance of it is usually call signs on the Federation Constellation class starship, I believe. They usually start with 18.
All right, look at that. That's so cool. All right, anything people just have to see when they set foot in the Voyage Home? What should they not miss?
Well, you know, there's a lot of memorabilia out there, you know, and that's a lot of the realm of collectors, you know, and it's actually kind of a rare thing to have a museum, you know, dedicated in part to Star Trek. It's usually the realm of private collectors, but here we have, you know, people don't have the kind of time or money, you know, to see that kind of stuff. But see, a lot of that stuff is mass-produced things. Not that that's bad, but you know, it kind of lacks the uniqueness, you know. Whereas here, you can see a few different things. We have a time capsule that was never buried. It was actually supposed to be a birthday present for young Captain Kirk when he's supposed to be born in the future, and burial of it's pending. But right here, it's you can't miss it. It's in the back when you come in. It looks like a beer keg and a beehive had a baby together. And,
Excellent.
And also, there's carved wooden statue done during Star Trek, or TrekFest 3, I believe, a while ago now.
Wow.
Yeah, from by a couple from Eldon, Missouri, and they're you know, and that's just, you know, a couple unique things you can see here.
And I'm noticing now that I'm getting caught up watching Invasion Iowa, a lot of props and things that were actually from the production that they did out here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's really neat because I know what all this stuff is now. So excellent. Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Excellent. Thanks for your time.
All right.
All right.